The FA Cup final. Man City beat Chelsea 1-0. What was your thoughts on the game?
Typical final, very typical final. It's almost you've come accustomed to like seeing how a finals played, and especially the way City and Chelsea are playing in finals. You've seen this kind of game before. They've almost played this game replicated a few times. I feel like in finals, where City dominate for periods of time, then Chelsea get their backs up and dominate for periods of time. And then City, obviously, I don't think Pep's had the right team. He made the change at halftime. Shirky comes on. There's a bit more attacking control. And then City get the goal, and then Chelsea are doing the bits and bobs. So for me as a whole, I felt the game went the way it should have gone. I feel like City went into it thinking they're going to win. I think the rest of the world obviously went into it thinking that City were going to win. It was a final at the end of the day. Finals are cagey for a reason. There's nerves, there's pressure. Everyone wants to win the game. One mistake can lose it. One mistake can win it. But I think overall, City probably deserved to win the game. I feel like Chelsea actually played all right today. I don't think they did much wrong. Didn't have many chances clear cut, but for me, City were just a dominant team. And you can see where they like key players can win you a game. Semenyo this week, Doku last week. You get what I mean? It depends. They have a range of players that can win you a game, and for Chelsea, it doesn't seem like that. They have that one standout this year. It was Cole Palmer when he first signed, but right now there isn't really anyone. So for me, good game all round. City dominant. Bernardo Silva, another beautiful performance in there. Pep Guardiola masterclass. So yeah, they know how to win. They got winners there.
Yeah, more or less agree with everything you said. And even though for both teams there weren't a lot of chances, it was actually, for me, it was a good watch anyway. Like you said, it was one of those finals that you kind of know what to expect in that sense. And Chelsea played well. McFarlane, in terms of getting the team's structure and shape, it was hard for City to break Chelsea down. But then going up the other end, Chelsea couldn't really create. They had the odd half chance here and there. Enzo's flick just over the bar. And like João Pedro running the channels, but Kusanov seemed to catch up with him every single time.
Yeah.
So credit to him as well. And yeah, like you said, like Pep started Marmoush, didn't work, brought on Shirky at halftime, and then just a moment of brilliance from Semenyo. And when City are in these kind of games, when they're the ones applying pressure, they are more likely to get that kind of goal in that sense. So yeah, I think it was one for them in terms of not a consolation, because obviously the league's not over. They can still win it, but you could tell like, yeah, let's win this. Do you know what I mean? I think they're the first team to do the domestic double since themselves, like 7 years ago or so. So, and obviously for the likes of Bernardo Silva, John Stones, it's their last cup final for Man City. And maybe a few other players if they leave as well in that sense. So I think they wanted to go out on a high. The intensity was there from them from the get-go as well. So my only thing was, have you overexerted so much pressure ahead of Bournemouth on Tuesday? But again, they're used to these moments as well. So
we'll see. I'd agree. I also not disappointed in Chelsea. I actually think they played well. I just thought they'd go for it a bit more, just knowing that Europe is kind of on the line in this game for them. There's a lot more on the line for them than City, for instance. You get what I mean? If City lose, they're in Champions League next year. They've already won League Cup. It's just another. They're trying to still win the Premier League. Whereas Chelsea, this is kind of their way into Europe. So I thought they might try and push harder. Some of the substitutions, the Delap sub, I was like, okay, he hasn't given you much. So is there anyone else? I don't know if there's anyone else, but is there anyone else? So that's where I was a bit confused. But I feel like Chelsea are where they are. We spoke about Chelsea a lot in the last few days. Chelsea are where they are, and that's kind of what they're going to be for now until they make some changes in their building. So for me, running the mill day at the office for Man City, you can see the way they celebrated it. It was like, okay, cool. We came here to win. We kind of knew we were going to win. It was one of those days. It's good for the new boys, new players to come in that haven't won this competition before. But when you're hearing Bernardo Silva and Johnson have won 20 competitions, 20 trophies since they've been there in a 9-year span, it's like, come on, man, it's ridiculous. This FA Cup is like, yeah, okay, it's just nice. It's one of the ones, but like they know what they really want to go for. The Prem and the Champions League are their bread and butter, what they really want to win. So I feel like the league and the FA Cup are things that when they do win, they're happy about it. But these guys have been Wembley so much at this point. It's partly kind of their second bloody home. So
Yeah, no, definitely
so
agree in that sense. It's funny you say that because Rooney even said after the game, he's like, don't get it twisted. As much as these guys win, when they get to this stage, they really want to win this kind of game as well. Like, and even just listening to him, Sturridge, and Michael Richards, like halftime, pre-game, post-game, I was like, one, the trio is very good to listen to, and just like their particular analysis on certain things in terms of, I think at halftime, Rooney might have suggested, like, even though it didn't happen, Doku and Semenyo swapped for a bit because of like the overload at certain aspects. And then they were just talking about like also Cole Palmer. Like Palmer had a good game, but it was more on the defensive side. Do you know what I mean?
yes.
And you want him to be more creative or more in his game in the final third. So I think that's where Chelsea were somewhat lacking from the final third aspect because they didn't really have anyone to enough pace between, say, the front three. Obviously, Enzo can create, but it's not quick enough. And Pedro's just about quick, but you're not gonna beat Kuzanov and Gahey like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of you're trying to run them down the line or run them off channels and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think like you said, we spoke about Chelsea enough of recent. And even when we finished recording last night, it looks like Alonso's name has gone even further in the hat, like that he's going to be their next head coach, which will be interesting. But for City, this final week of football is for them, it's a we lose or we do something that not many have done, but we've done it before anyway, and win it at the death.